Hi, my name's Kevin and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to have a look at repairing this water pump. It's either a car or van water pump, I don't know, but nothing wrong with it. You know, the pump is still, the spindle is still solid, there's no leak. So what the guy has done is he's took it off to investigate a leak, and consequently he's dropped it on the floor and he's broke the lug off from the top. So this is aluminium, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a go at TIG welding this back on, and we're going to use some 4043, which is 5% silicon based welding wire. So what we'll do is we'll clean up the around the area as much as we can, because TIG welding likes a clean welding surface, and then we'll V these parts, and we'll cut a V into them, and then we'll have a look at re-welding it. Not all casting is the same. Some of it's really crap and some of it's, not too bad, but we'll have a look and see anyway. Where it's broke right on this hole here, which is a fixing hole. So what we'll have to do, once we've welded it back up, we'll have to re-drill this hole and then obviously thread it. I don't think there's a metric hole. We'll have a look. I think there's something like a BSF hole thread in there. So let's have a look and see. I'm guessing something like a 3/8. Yeah, so it's a BSF thread in there. So what we'll do is we'll keep that out and we'll have to re-thread that hole, because no doubt the weld is going to fill up some of that hole. So what I'll do first is, obviously we've got to relocate that hole in exactly the same place. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that, because we've got a funny shape here, so we've got no reference. So when the hole is filled up with weld, or probably around the bottom end there of the weld, we're going to have to re-drill that out. Anyway, I'll show you how we set that up for, so we get that hole back in the same place. Well, here we are. I'll show you a close-up of the brake. So as you can see there, that's right in where the thread goes. So what we'll do, we'll just hold this on here, and then we'll use a piece of paper, and we've got a reference line along the bottom here. So what we'll do, we'll put the edge of the paper on that reference line, and then we'll just mark it round. Oh, this fella couldn't come off. Start again. Right, so we'll just mark it around here. So there's the outline, and in the hole we just need to mark that hole off. So there's the hole. So what will happen is we'll cut that out, and then when we come back to reference that hole, we can put this on here, and then we can just easily find the center again. So that's the easiest way of doing that one. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look. We'll start to groove where this cut, where the brake is. We'll start to groove that all the way round, and then we'll have a look at welding it. So that's looking good there. Let's bring it in closer. Is it focused? So there we have it. We can still locate on in the original where the casting is. So I didn't really want to take any more out because otherwise we aren't going to, you know, get our placing. So anyway, we'll fire up the welder and we'll start to have a look at welding that back on. Well, here we are. We've got it all clamped up and we've got it ready. What we're just going to run a weld. I think what we'll do first, we'll just tack it first and just see how that holds, and then we'll go from there. So like I was saying, we're using some 4043, which is a silicon based aluminium wire, so that will help with the you know, the welding. Probably what I'll do is I've turned the cleaning action up on the TIG welder and trying to get, you know, because casting is notoriously dirty and we will need to, you know, make sure we've got plenty of cleaning action to get a good hold on the weld. So that's now popped out of there, so we'll just reset this, just do it a bit tighter I think. That's better. Yeah, so what we'll do, I think we'll just tack across the top here first and then probably get a tack in down the bottom end there, and we'll see how that goes. So right, let's have a go and try. Just make sure that that's still straight across the back there. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't know whether, you know, that was warping over, but anyway, we've got a hold on it, and the aluminium quality doesn't seem too bad. It's got a bit of dirt in there, but that's not too bad, so that should be okay. Right, see if we can just, well, what we'll do, I think we'll tack it on the back here as well, and then we'll run the weld all the way round. So. Hey. And again. Well, that looks okay. Actually, the casting's pretty good. That took that weld really well. So what we'll do now, we'll let that cool off, and obviously we'll have to set up on the milling machine to reface this face here, because this goes up against obviously something on the engine which is flat. Around the outside we'll leave the meat on, the weld on there, and that will obviously give us a stronger joint there. There's some heat in there now. So anyway, yeah, so I'm happy with how that turned out. And here's just a close-up of the weld itself. So as you can see, that weld took pretty well considering it's cast. Anyway, so it's off over to the milling machine, and we'll try and get this held in there, and we'll just run across that face there just to tidy that up. So I've mounted the casting in the mill. The only square faces I could find were back here, so I've mounted that onto a couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then we've got a lot of overhang here, so I've just got a nut and a bolt underneath here just to support this front. Otherwise there's going to be a lot of chatter while it's cutting. It shouldn't be too bad, but it's better to support it rather than, you know, taking the risk. So anyway, we'll load up an end mill, and then we'll you know, sort of machine this weld away, and then that'll leave us back with this face here, which is obviously going to go up against the engine on the car. Well, that all looks good. We've got a small hole here, but I'll just have to check that once I take it off the mill, and we'll just make sure that that's going to be okay. I'm guessing it will be, because the weld, there's plenty of weld in there. Well, anyway, so that's that done. So what we'll need to do now is just tidy up the hole. So I'll need to relocate that with our piece of paper, which we done, you know, with the template, what we done earlier. So I'll do that, and then we'll just drill that out and just tap that hole, and then the job will be finished. So we're all done. I ran a milling cutter straight through the centre of the hole. I forgot to press record, which is typical. But anyway, I ran that straight through to just get rid of the weld build-up what was inside the hole. And then we'll now re-tap that hole using the 3/8, oh 3/8, was it 3/8 BSF? Yeah, 3/8 BSF. So this should just go through reasonably easy. Just get a start where pick up the threads if I can. Oh, that's it. So yeah, so that's now just following the threads and then just knocking out where the welds are. Yep, that's fine. Come on. Right, job done. Just check them threads and they're all fine. So yeah, so that's that job done. So what we'll do, I'll give it back to the guy, and he can fix it back to the car, and then we'll see what happens and see whether it does last. So should do. I mean, that's, you know, the welders took really well, and machining the top off there's no cracks or anything like that. So I'm guessing that's going to be fine. So anyway, another job done.